We were talking about this the other day too. Talking about science fiction, about Ron Hubbard.
What was he doing?
Remember how we were talking about how how did we get onto Ron Hubbard? We were talking about how selling books and how to avoid the taxing, and that's why he basically started his.
Oh, because I figured out how freaking little kids in Africa get fed and where the money comes from.
Oh,
remember? Because I ended up, I was cooking breakfast and I turn over to the TV and I see. It's like one of those Christian, like, feed the little kids in Africa.
But it was a business, man. Like, I don't trust some of those things. I'm like, this is a straight out business, man.
Dude, I pieced it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because they put...
in the small print.
They put in the small print what was going on.
Retail value.
Yeah.
Retail value.
Okay, so this is what happened. I'm watching TV. I'm looking at the.
He's got the TV set up on the church network.
Yeah, I got it on the Christian TV, which you do.
Which is Yes TV.
Which
I get caught watching it too.
Yeah. Well, I've never watched one of those like UNICEF commercials in my life. It's just one of those things that are always on
in the background.
In the background, you're just like, oh, there's another kid dying or whatever. Like when you're a kid, you're watching one of those. But as an adult, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit and watch one of these commercials and see what these things are really about. So I'm watching it. And how it went out was you can donate to this one company. I'm not going to say their name. You can donate to this one company, $10, $50 or $100. And they say that $10 feeds 10 kids, $50 feeds 5.
No.
$10 feeds 10 kids.
So 50 would feel 50 kids.
50 kids. $100
would feel 100 kids.
Would feed 100 kids. That's what it was. It was pretty much $1 a kid.
Yeah.
Right? I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something like that.
And then you had $1,000. Next jump after that.
And then the next jump was $1,000, and that feeds 100 children.
Yeah.
Right? And they were really pushing for the 1,000. But when you donate $30, you get like some weird little manuscript or something. When you donate $100, you get this like, or when you donate $50, they give you for free this book. When you donate 100, you get like this really sick Bible or something, like it's leather bound, and they're just showing off this Bible with this leather bullshit.
These are gifts you're getting.
These are the gifts that you're getting.
Your gifts.
These gifts, and then the $1,000, you get this weird little gold statue of like a shepherd or something like that. But at the very end of the commercial or the very end of the show, it said in small print on the very bottom, it said FMV and then equals each one of the items that are given away, quote unquote, for free. So the book was like, you know, like $9, and the Bible was like $12.
So for free, so FMV means free market value.
Fair market value.
Fair market value.
Yeah.
So it's not cost, it's what they can sell it for.
Yeah, it's what you could sell the book for. It's not what they paid for it.
Yeah,
so there's wholesale and market value
so
of something.
let's say if the Bible was $25 or $30.
Fair market value, $30.
Which means there's $20 left in your $50 deposit. But so they would take their $30 to pay back for the book, right? Because that's the fair market value. So that's the cost of the book, because they're selling the book. They're not. They're not giving away for free.
They're not giving away at cost.
No. They're not giving it at cost, because.
So they bought let's say they bought the book for $10. But they can sell it for $30. They're taking that $20.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're buying books for $10 and selling to you as a gift for $30.
Yeah.
For free when you give them $100.
Yeah.
So take $30 out of that, equate that $100,
which leaves $20.
Which leaves $20 left. Yeah.
$20 left.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
legally they can take 30%. A non-for-profit.
So you can take 30% of the profits.
They could take 30% of that.
So they take another 30% off that $20, which is
10% would be $2.
Because people who think that non-for-profit means that they don't make any money, it's not true. Non-for-profit means that money stays in the company, but so you can send it out via paychecks and staff costs and labor costs. So what happens is like most of those non-for-profit guys will make like a $200,000 salary in their non-for-profit organization.
Well, the damn guy on the thing had a Rolex on. I'm not, Rolexes are dope. I'm not like, they're a sick watch.
But I'm just like, dude, man, like you're wearing a Rolex. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was just kind of weird.
It was at least take the Rolex off.
The guy selling it.
So I'm like, at least put on your shepherd's outfit.
Yeah, this freaking guy's wearing. He wasn't wearing anything like crazy, but the Rolex was on, and I'm not a crazy guy with watches knowing exact worth or value, but it was gold. I knew that, and it wasn't a It wasn't a Submariner. It wasn't a yacht. What is it? Yacht Maker, whatever that one's called. It was just a Rolex that it looked very expensive to me.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, yo, this one's an expensive Rolex.
That's the same thing that I noticed too when I was watching that Wild Country, when I was watching for Osho.
Which one's Wild Country?
Wild Country. Remember the one, that show I was watching with you, and you were like, "Yo, man, I can't watch this." About the cult.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't watch it because it's like in episodes. I want to start it from the beginning.
Yeah. So, anyways, the same thing was like Wild Country. Like you could see when the guy flipped, because at some point he was like, he was holy, and then all of a sudden he's just like, there was a flip that happened. Something switched in him, and then all of a sudden he's surrounded by all these Rolexes.
Oh, this is that Osho guy.
Yeah, all these Rolls Royce. He had like 50 or 60 Rolls Royce, and he was covered in Rolexes. And then his shaman suit went from like this humbled suit to like this fine linen.
He's balled out.
Balled out.
Did he have a turban?
Yeah, but it was like a furry
It was like one of those big ones. Yeah,
It's like, yo, man, this guy's balling
with like
out
a gem
now.
in the middle and shit.
Yeah, it just turned into like I was just like, yo, man, this guy sold out at some point here. Like he was just pulling in, and everyone else was just wearing their orange jumpsuits, and I'm just like,
did they all commit suicide?
No.
Oh, okay. It wasn't like one of those cult things.
No.
Like some David Koresh shit.
That's some weird shit where they all drink the Kool-Aid.
They all drink the Kool-Aid.
You know what I'm wondering?
That's messed up. How do you get people to do that?
Well, I'm wondering about that. Like how, like it's the same thing as communion.
Yeah,
everyone drinks it. Like if someone just poisoned it.
No, they know they're killing themselves when they make them.
That's what we assume, because they drank it. But what if they were just doing communion and someone just mass murdered everybody?
No. There's videotape of it.
What?
There's videotape of people being in there. I've watched it and it was fucked. I don't know if it was the David Koresh.
That were they having a discussion about?
Yeah, they're having a discussion about who's taking it, and then they're just like, "Fuck, I'll take the poison." And there's videotape of people just drinking this shit and knowing they're gonna die. It was the creepiest video I've seen. Yeah, it was in that David Koresh one in Waco, Texas went crazy. Like the place got lit on fire. Everyone got lit up. Like the FBI was there. It was like a standoff for a couple days. People got shot and killed.
Were they in there with weapons too?
Yeah.
Because like the same thing.
It was a full-on firefight, and then they all burned alive.
The same thing was happening with this with the Osho stuff. Is that like they were taking over, and then because they were being attacked, kind of thing. They all started to militarize, and they started to teach them how to use
guns. Yeah, that's what David Koresh was doing. That.
Smokes.
Yeah, they make these little militaries, and they become super loyal to the point where they'll kill themselves.
This is what I'm saying. Like at some point, like those organizations get taken over, and they become like dark.
Dude, I think
super dark.
David Koresh is fucked from the start. Like that guy's dark from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no like he's trying to do it from a pure holy and nice loving place. He's like crazy in the head. But how do you get so many people together in one spot that they're like cool enough with you to get them to kill themselves for?
Well, it's the whole
that's crazy salesmanship.
It's the whole concept around the love blanket, the veil. It's the whole push on the love thing, and but it's a veil. They use it as a veil. Where like you think you're doing something out of love, but it's not. It's pure evil. But you think you're doing it out of love.
There's a lot of lost people, man.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like that's what ends up happening. So then like all these people just don't see the bigger picture on what's happening. And they just get manipulated because like they're just in there, and then they're all of a sudden easily just flipped. Boom. Everyone has a price. It's just a matter of like what their price is.
Yeah, who starts that? That's crazy. But yeah, we pieced together that whole freaking.
Yeah, and then we were talking about, so going back, it was about the whole...
what's his face? Scientology.
The Scientology.
Yeah, because you're telling me you got to sell books in Scientology. That's where this guy gets the money?
That's how he started Scientology, is because Ron Hubbard, he basically was selling his science fiction novels as religion. So what happens is people, as they climb up the different levels of the Scientology, they would have to buy the next book. Mm-hmm. And they'd have to get the next level and the next level and the next level, but you'd always constantly have to buy the next book. And then you would have to do what's called audits. So
they got this little machine that you go into like a room and they sit and they tell you if you're lying or not.
Yeah, do you know like a lie detector? Like an audit. So like they have what's called an engram. So an engram. So a lot of the stuff is kind of like it's kind of scientific kind of sense. Like so. The whole idea of an engram is basically saying that if you have an engram inside your system, you can have an engram from when you're a baby or whatever. It's all those subconscious memories that are embedded into your body that you don't know about. Mm-hmm. So they're called engrams. And what this is what he was calling them. And an only way to remove an engram is to have someone do an audit on you. So they would have to basically ask you questions until they finally found the engram, and then you would have to then release the engram and admit to it.
That seems almost, that seems kind of legit though, somewhat legit.
That's what I'm saying.
It seems like psychology, like let's figure out what screwed you up as a kid.
Yeah.
It may be in the cell, maybe that guy just needed an engram.
Yeah, well, to get an engram released because it was embedded in him.
Yeah, you just
so what they would do is they would put these electromagnetic machines, they would hold them, and what happened is that the needle would go back and forth,
And this is in Scientology.
This is Scientology.
In this little like room that they're doing this thing.
where they do the audits.
Hey, well, Catholics do confessions. It's kind of similar.
Yeah.
Is it not?
So they do this dial goes back and forth, and they keep trying to pick at the engram until the dial stops moving, until they find peace. And then they find that they're no longer pumping out that subconscious electricity through the thing.
How is that even scientific though? Like, where's the electricity coming from? What is it?
It's like a lie detector. It's like a lie detector test. So have you ever read the book Power versus Force?
Yeah.
So we have what's called kinetic energy, kinetic lie detector tests that our bodies can basically tell us whether we're telling the truth or honest or lying, even whether we know it or not. Subconsciously, it can tell us whether we're telling the truth
by holding on to a machine
through our muscles. So our muscles will basically either go strong or weak, depending on whether something is true or false.
There's people that can dupe that though, can they not?
Which one?
They can dupe.
This is for your own personal thing. Like you can, like your muscles will go strong or weak depending on what's. So there's like a finger lock test you can do. So you can ask yourself questions in whether something's true or false. Like either your fingers will go weak or they'll stay strong or the lock will stay.
So like if Pow Pow was like, I am a black man, he'd be like,
yeah. It wouldn't go through.
Atiano Chibe, it wouldn't go through. He'd be able to hold that thing.
Chibe would be like, nope, not happening. But that's the thing. So that's how that works. So if you look at if you ever want to read a book, Power versus Force, it explains a little bit about how that works, and then through that form of testing, they were able to find different levels of frequencies based on emotional frequencies. So like, shame being at the bottom, being rated at like 20, and then at the top of that would be enlightenment, which would be at 1,000.
And this is the thing, and they hold on to this little thing.
So this one they would do it, but basically with this electropods, because they would actually pick up those small levels of frequencies. Similar to like a lie detector. When they put you to a lie detector test, it checks the electrical pulses.
Okay, so then they'll do this audit.
But they'll film you during the audit.
Yeah.
So they film every audit.
Ooh, and then they use that against you.
That's how they get you.
Are we gonna get murdered?
Which one?
For talking about this?
No, because we're not in Scientology, so it doesn't matter.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed that clip, we got another one right here for you. If you want to catch the full episode where this clip came from, you just click the link right here. My name's Cameron Barke. This is The Thought Exchange, the podcast where nothing is safe.